Hi guys, welcome back. Hello, looks like we're back. Sorry about the connection issue, you know? I'll wait for you to join again. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened, but the chat was just interesting, I guess. I wonder what will happen when when there's like hundreds and thousands and millions of people in the chat. I've got to figure something out. Yeah, sorry about that. What was your question? What was your question? Because I know you had a question or two, but the chat was just disconnected for some reason. What was the question? Yes, absolutely, for sure. Gonna get there. Thank you. So, what was your question? Mm-hmm. Mm, really? So, okay. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. Okay. I'll tell you something. Your old friend was saying he did not like her from the start. Is that the one that got with her? Because I'll tell you something. If he's the one that got with her, is that the one? Is that the one that got with her? There's so much gold here. There's so much gold here. I'm laughing. I was smiling because I see so much here, and I will break it down for you. I will break it down for you because my mind is going. It's lighting up, and when I break this all down to you, it will make so much sense, and you will feel stupid. Yes, you will for not seeing it sooner. But guess what? That's normal, right? Especially when we've just discovered something. Whenever I've just discovered something, I feel stupid for not realizing it in the past. Yes, you will feel stupid because it wasn't just a simple you broke up. He went with her, she went with him, they went together. That's why you will feel stupid because it was a big issue. If it was just a cupcake and he took your cupcake, you don't care. But this was a whole human being that you were having experiences with, and you were literally spending on her. So it will feel stupid for you not realizing it sooner. And I will break this down to you because you should probably get a pen and paper down because when I break it down for you, maybe I should even involve videos if you would like that about relationships and women because I will tell you something that's gonna blow your fucking mind off. It's crazy. Get a pen and paper right fucking now and save this video. Okay, you were spending all your money on her, right? Okay, we can talk about that in a minute. But now let's go to, and my old friend was saying he did not like her from the start. Oh, he fucking liked her. He more than liked her. He really liked her. His plan, and this shouldn't be a surprise to you because also don't say he stole her. Yes, he stole her. One. Two, she wanted to be stolen by him. They're both at fault. Okay? I can tell you where you're at fault, but that's for another time. So, he stole her. She wanted to be stolen by him. That's that. He stole her. She wanted to be stolen by him. Okay? They're both fucked up. That's that. Now, let's move on to he said he did not like her from the start. He really liked her. He more than liked her. What he was trying to do, okay, whether he was aware of his own evil plans or not, what he was trying to do was to basically, because he knew you valued his opinion, all right, because you guys must have been very close. Otherwise, why were you all hanging out together, right? You must have trusted him. And by the way, you don't need to have your friends around your woman because you're secure. And you don't need to have your friends around your woman because you trust them so much. The two don't have to go together. You can trust your friend, you can trust your woman. They don't need to be together. Get that into your head. They don't need to be together. Whether you're there or not, they don't need to be together, period. They don't have to go together. Just because you're secure or because you trust her or you trust him, it doesn't fucking matter. Whether you're in the room with them or not, they don't need to be together, period. Don't let anybody gaslight you. Yes, don't let anybody gaslight you to make you feel like you're insecure. No, you set your fucking standards. Go back to the other live that I made before the connection was off. You set your standards. Don't let the world set a standard for you. Because the world sets standards based on how it wants to live. You set your fucking standards based on how you want to fucking live. That's that. Now, he was saying he didn't like her from the start. Because he knew that you valued his opinion, he wanted to manipulate you to say to you, whether he knew this was his own plan or not, him saying this meant you value his opinion. So he wanted to lower her value in your eyes so that you will chase her away. And then he will be there to pick up the pieces. Yeah. Him saying he didn't like her, mm-mm. Or he liked her. He didn't like her. If it was true, he liked her. But him saying he didn't like her, right? If it was true, but we know it's not true because he really liked her. Him saying he didn't like her is him hiding his real intentions. Okay? Him saying he didn't like her is him saying he didn't like her because she was with you, not with him. The reason, because I'm sure you believed he didn't like her. That's probably why you were comfortable to not think or worry about them. Yeah, because he said he didn't like her. That's probably why you were thinking, oh, let me leave them. They can hang out together, they can talk together, whatever. I can relax, I can rest my fucking mind because he didn't like her. Bullshit. Bullshit. He liked her. And if he said that and he made you believe he didn't like, okay? What he really didn't like is the fact that she was with you and not with him. That's why he hated her. Yeah. Another thing is this. How many movies have you seen? Because no movies don't always get it right. But how many movies have you seen? How many stories of other people have you heard? In fact, you yourself, how many women, how many women, okay, have you argued with only for you to think to yourself, you wouldn't mind her in that way, but you don't like her as a person? Exactly. Don't assume just because a man and a woman do not get along. Of course, in some cases, they don't get along, they genuinely don't like each other. But you have to understand what creates this chemistry, this attraction. You don't need to like each other as good people. You can hate each other. Have you seen that movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Look at the scene after they were shooting at each other. Exactly. Movies don't always get it right, but sometimes they fucking do. Look at the movies of the high school jock and the pretty girl. Look at their relationship, how he's disrespectful to her. He's horrible to her. But she still goes with him anyway over the nerdy high school guy who's just not attractive to her in any way. But he's the kind one. Kindness alone is not what saves your relationship. It's not what saves it. Giving her all your attention alone is not what saves the relationship. It's not. It's not. Giving her all your money and your salary is not what saves the relationship. And those things aren't necessarily bad. A healthy human being should want all your attention. You're her man. She was your woman. She should want all those things. Those things are perfect to give to her. You should. If you don't give it to her, who the fuck are you going to give it to? Another woman? No, it's to her. She should have all your attention. She should have all your salary and all your money. And when I say all your attention, I don't mean you don't do any other thing with your life. What I mean is when you give her your attention, you give it to her. When you give her all your money, you give it to her. When you give her your love, you give it to her. But the problem is you're building your house on sand. It's going to crumble when the waves come. But if you build your house on a rock, solid rock, proper cement, everything is good. The structure is perfect and strong and sturdy. When the waves come, it won't be washed into the sea. No fucking way. So when you give her your love, your attention, your money, guess what? She's gonna appreciate it because you need to vet her, right? You need to check her to make sure that she's healthy in the fucking mind. Okay, that when you give her these things, she's gonna appreciate them. You need to. That's what I'm saying. See, this all links to the whole having to, finding true friends and having high standards for yourself. When you have high standards for yourself, you don't just let anybody in. And I promise you, that woman was showing you signs, like you said. You said you brought her all these things, but I bet you she never gave you anything back. She never bought you anything. She never bought you anything. You said she was gaslighting you. That's not a supportive human being. That's not a supportive woman. She's not. She was never a. See, she wasn't respecting your time. She wasn't respecting your money because you had to spend your time. You had to be at work and deal. This all links together. You had to be at work, deal with a shit loser boss. Think about this. See, failure has a pattern. Success has a pattern. You have a shit boss. Sure, you can't help it. No problem. You have a shit boss. Great. Life happens. You have a shit boss. You spent your time and energy working for that shit boss. You have a shit girlfriend. You spent the time and money you got from work on that shit girlfriend. She did not even she did not even remember your birthday, and then she was gaslighting you by saying you were exaggerating, like you were going crazy. You see what I mean? There's a pattern here. There's a pattern here. See, some things you can change, some things you can't change. Maybe for right now, you can't change your shit loser boss. That's fine. You can't change it. But you can change who the fuck you allow into your life, whether as a girlfriend or as a friend. You can change that shit. You can fucking change that shit. And she said you're exaggerating. Oh yeah, gaslighting. That all makes sense. This is the thing. But it was so genuine that they argue. This is the thing. This is the thing. It should be like this. There's you and her, and then there's him over there. Where you fucked up was There was you and her, and he was literally right here. That's that's not good. That's too close. Way too fucking close. She would complain that you don't love her because you would hang out with him instead. Another thing is this. This is another thing that I, I I I was thinking, right, and then this thought came into my mind some maybe months ago, probably a year, but maybe months ago. It's like this. I'm not blaming you because she was already a horrible piece of shit based on those days you're telling me. And of course, there were ways that you could have improved, and I'll tell you about them later. You know, ways that you were honestly a clueless piece of shit as well. I know, I know. It happens. Look, it's gonna happen again. Maybe not in this situation, but we're not gonna know everything. We're gonna fuck up from time to time. Who knows? Look, you figure it out. But for right now, let's look at it like this. This is what I was thinking some time ago. And it's like this. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying it's your fault. Okay? I'm not saying it's your fault. I know, I know. I'm not saying it's your fault. It's more like this because she was already that type of person already. Right? And when I say where you went wrong, it doesn't mean you actually did something wrong. It just means you didn't do something right. Does that make sense? Yeah. It doesn't mean you did something wrong. It just means you didn't do something right. I expand on that later. Just give me a sec. What I was thinking was this. Again, this is not to excuse her behavior because she was already that kind of person. That's why she did it. You can only do what you are. You can only be who you are. The thing is this: wherever you put your attention, right? Wherever you put your attention, that's where she is likely to put her attention to. Think about it. Think about it. Women are jealous creatures. They are. And I don't just mean women outside in the world. I mean the women in your family. They're jealous creatures. The girls maybe in school that didn't like you, they still don't like you now, right? They still don't like you now, but the second you're with a girl, pretty, beautiful, the second you're with a girl, they still don't like you. They still don't like you, but the second you're with a girl, they are jealous that she's with you. Doesn't mean they want you, but they're jealous. So women are jealous creatures in general. That's a fucking fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. Even when they don't want you, the fact that you're with another woman, they hate that. They will hate you for it. They will hate her for it. Because that means the idea they had about you was wrong, that nobody could want you. But that's another topic. But you understand what I'm saying. She was thinking to herself, because I'm guessing because she couldn't process her emotions. I'm going to tell you what she was feeling, but she couldn't process it to you. I mean, how could she? She was a toxic piece of shit anyway, so she couldn't process this. But I'm going to tell you what she was feeling. And it's this: if he's given his friend all this attention, what's so good about his friend? Let me find out. I know it's fucked up, but it's true. If he's given his friend, because you're probably someone who you're a guy's guy, you're one of the guys, you have a bro code, you're respectful, you're this, you're that. Just because you have that mindset or you have that heart doesn't mean everybody else fucking does. That's something you need to remember. Yeah, you gotta think about it like that. I'm not saying she wasn't horrible, and I'm not blaming her. I'm not blaming her, okay? Or should I say, not that I'm not blaming her. I'm not saying she's not to blame, is what I mean to say. I'm not saying she's not to blame, okay? Because he may have been trying to get her, but she opened herself to allow that to happen. How come she never told you? I'm not saying she's not to blame. She's to blame in this too. But you have to understand something. What you give your energy to, because she's emotional and because she wants to be cared for. She wants to be loved. Yeah, I know. Even gaslighters want to be loved. Even though she's toxic, she still wants to be loved. She's human, right? If you're now giving your attention to this guy, it's like, why is he giving his attention to his friend so much? What's so special about her friend? I mean, his friend. What's so special about his friend? Now she wants to find out. But she didn't realize that that's what's going on inside of her mind that she's thinking of. But this is the thing, it doesn't excuse her behavior because you are allowed to have a friend who is a guy and you hang out. You probably knew him before you met her. He's your friend. You're allowed to have a friend. But, and this is the thing, I'm not blaming you, but you can be a guy's guy. You're one of the guys. You talk shit, you hang out, cool. You can do that, but never ever, never ever put anybody over your woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not excusing her behavior because she should have communicated to you as a healthy person to say, hey, you're spending time with your friend too much. What about me? Now imagine this. Not only were you spending so much time with him, not only were you spending so much time with him, you are now creating a situation where they are comfortable to hang out with each other. Do you understand what I mean? That this is another thing. You have to understand, okay, she was emotionally needy because the once or twice she would be with your friend, she was needy. So every single time you are with your friend, she wanted it to be with you, with her. So it could be once or twice. What I'm saying is, she was going to behave like this no matter what. She was so emotionally needy. And that shouldn't be that's why you shouldn't even be surprised that she cheated on you because she was so emotionally needy. So needy. If you're not with her every second of the day, she would look elsewhere. That's where, if you improve yourself to a level where you have standards for yourself, you don't want to be with anyone who, the second you don't show them a bit of attention, they want to look for it elsewhere. They want to find it elsewhere. Think about it. You don't need to tell me her story if you don't want to, but if she ever told you anything, if listen, this is the thing. If she ever told you something, I bet, or if you asked her any question, it would be about, she probably had daddy issues for sure. For sure. Don't be surprised. She wasn't given so much attention. Even maybe even her mother didn't give her so much attention. The fact is, she is missing attention in her life. And no matter what you give her, it will never be enough. It would never be enough because you can't spend all the time with her when you're out there making your salary to be able to give to her anyway, as you were doing. You can't be working full time and at the same time giving her full time attention. That's very impossible. Very hard to balance together. Do you understand? So she was very needy. And this whole thing about it turned us, see, you gotta understand this. It's not your fucking job to manage any fucking thing. If she doesn't like that you're hanging out with him, you gotta put your foot down and say, that's your problem. We don't hang out all the time. We don't hang out all the time. We just hang out once or twice. And if he's bitching, you know, saying, he doesn't get along with your girlfriend, why does he need to get along with your girlfriend? Why? Why do they need to get along? Do you understand what I'm saying? You put no boundaries in place. I'm not blaming you. What I'm saying, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm saying you didn't do the right things. You didn't do the right things. They don't need to know each other beyond the necessary. This is my girlfriend. This is my friend. That's it. Why are you all hanging out together? There's no need for that. There's absolutely no need. She's your girlfriend, not his. He's your friend, not hers. There should be healthy boundaries in place. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you're saying she was daddy's girl and he met you as well. Okay. So that means she didn't have daddy issues in that way. Fair enough. Fortunately, she was daddy's girl and he met you as well. I guess she can never be satisfied then. Because if she gets along with her father to the point where you were at a stage where you met him as well, I guess you could never be satisfied then. And there was nothing you could have done. Because if you were given all these things, that's why it's important in the very beginning. In the very beginning, establish healthy boundaries. Like back to the whole sand, in on the beach scenario. Back to the whole sand on the beach scenario. When the wave comes, it washes it away, right? But if it's built, if the sand or the castle is built on rocks, the wave can't the wave can't wash it away. They just can't. The waves, they can't wash it away. They can't wash it away. So you need to make sure she already respects you from the beginning. Like, forget about meeting the standards that people say you should meet when you're with somebody. Like, oh, she has to be beautiful, she has to be pretty, she has to be gorgeous. Like, everything just focused on just the physical. Like, she has to have this type of hair, she has to dress this type of way. Let's forget that for a second because that's secondary. Primary, your focus should always be, does she respect me? Does she respect you? Does she admire you? Yeah. Is she scared to lose you? Is who you are, yeah, of course, you're going to try to improve and upgrade in your life, but is who you are someone that she dare not disrespect? Is who you are someone that she loves and she's in love with? Who you are as she's met you. That's why if it's built on rocks, it's hard for you spending on her, you working so much. It's hard for her to forget your birthday. It's hard for those things to be a problem because she already has that respect for you underneath. It's solid. The foundation is already strong. She already respects you. So how could she forget your birthday? She already respects you and she cares about your opinion and your views. So how could she gaslight you when you have expressed what you see in the world, your perspective? How could she gaslight you? She loves you, which means she she loves what you bring to the table and she respects you. So if she respects you, she also respects your time. If she respects your time, she respects that you had to spend your time to get money. So she won't just spend your money like that. She would also contribute and spend on you as well. You feel what I'm saying? All of this comes from, and also her being loyal as well. She would be loyal to you because she respects you. Because to be disloyal to you would be to disrespect you. So why would she do that if she respects you, right? So you see how her respecting you, her loving you, it makes it impossible, literally impossible for her to do all those other things. And by the way, this doesn't just apply to your romantic relationships. Your friend, your friend Even if he was respectful before, trust me, it was just a pretense. He did not respect you, and he did not care about you. Because if he respected you and cared about you, he wouldn't try to take what was yours. That goes into another thing. Have If you're gonna have friends that you're gonna be close with, be careful, of course. Have boundaries, but fucking make sure they are upgrading their lives so that he is too focused dealing with his own woman. Make sure he has someone that he's doesn't mean he can't try bullshit with you and what you have. But what I'm saying is you have friends that they have things. Think about it. You had a job, a girlfriend, a routine, a schedule, an adult, responsible adult man, and that guy, where was his girlfriend? Where was his girlfriend? Where was his job to be working so hard to buy his girlfriend shit like you were doing for your girlfriend? So where was his girlfriend? Where was his job? Where was his respect for you? Where was his care for you? He didn't have those things for you. And he didn't even have those things for himself. Back to the whole, in order to have true friends in the previous life, have standards for yourself so that the friends you have, because you have standards for your life, before you even make friends, you're going to have standards for them to meet as well. You're someone who works. You have a girlfriend. You have a schedule. You are responsible. You have a routine. You don't just spend your day in any fucking way. You're gonna make sure that your friends they have a family as well. A girl and maybe some kids that he's looking after. He's got plans for his life and he's working as well, as much as you or even more than you. He doesn't have time to be obsessing, okay? He doesn't have time to be obsessing and coveting what you have. He doesn't have time to be jealous of what you have. He is too busy looking after his own girlfriend. He's too busy working and making all that money. He's too busy, probably with a shit loser boss. He's too busy. He's too busy. Do you understand? He doesn't have time to take what's yours. He's too busy because he has something. When you have something, be careful being around motherfuckers who don't have shit because they can only take what's yours because they don't have anything. That's all they can do. They can only take what's yours. Okay, if you have a fucking mansion, don't be hanging out with a homeless piece of shit. You have a mansion, a wife, and some kids, and nice cars in the driveway, and you have a shit ton in your safe. Why the fuck are you being friends with a homeless motherfucker? He doesn't have those things. What do you think he's gonna think of? Oh, it's like you're bringing him his fucking meal. You're bringing it to him. You are encouraging him. Oh, I have a wife, I have kids, I have money, I have cars, I have this house. Hey, homeless motherfucker, come in, come in, here. By you being around him, he's smelling all the things he could have, but he never bothered. He never had the passion, the strength, the courage to even speak to a girl and get a girl in the first place. It's easy for him to just, I'm gonna try and take his. He doesn't have to listen. It's like when a girl sends you naked pictures, don't show your other friends. Don't fucking do that. Not only because it's disrespectful to her, but also because you fucking worked for it. Why the fuck should they see it? You worked for it. You have a house, a kid, money in the driveway. You have a house. You have cars. You have money in the safe, cars in the driveway. You have all those things. Why the fuck are you gonna hang around a loser, homeless piece of shit? Why? Why would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that? You are basically saying, hey, I'm the lion. I'm gonna go out into the world. I'm gonna conquer, and then I'm gonna be friends with another lion so that he can eat my food with me. It's fucking crazy. Don't ever do that. If you're gonna hang around people, make sure they've got shit that you have. In fact, make sure they have more than you. Because you know you won't be jealous of their shit anyway. Make sure they have more than you. And that they're happy with what they have and they're not trying to take yours. They might want to improve their lives, but they're not trying to take yours to improve their life. Think about it. You did his work for him. You had the balls. Listen, you're not a coward. You talked to the girl. You introduced yourself. You got to know the girl. Think about it. And because he's your friend, in her mind, right? Oh, that guy must be safe, right? He didn't have to not be a coward, meaning he didn't have to have the balls and the confidence and the charisma and the charm to speak to the girl. He didn't have to do that. All he had to do was be your friend and create that I'm a safe man vibe because he's your friend. You, she had to trust you. Understand this. She had to trust you. She had to trust you. You had to be charming. You had to be charismatic. You had to be someone she was like, wow, I want to be with him. You had to be that. All he had to do, because he didn't have to go through all that process that you went through, he had to just be your friend and sneak in like the snake he is. That's all he had to do. He ate from your plate, even though you went out, you hunted your prey, if you want to say it like that. You hunted your prey as the lion. You brought it back to your where you live. You're eating the food. You're enjoying it, and you're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And you decide, "I'm just gonna go piss in the bushes somewhere." He's eating your meal while you're gone. Why don't you take your fucking food with you when you're going to piss in the bushes? Or you tell him, "Go away. This is my house. You're not allowed here." Don't let motherfuckers trick you about we're friends. I should get to know your girlfriend. No, don't let people trick you. All right, have standards. Have what you want and what you don't want. Have what you would tolerate, what you will not tolerate. You did the hard work. Like you really did. You did all the hard work. Like, do you understand that you had to be the charming one? You had to dress nice. You had to be charismatic. You had to speak properly in a way that makes her want to be with you. You had to present yourself in a way that makes her think, I want to be with this guy. You did that. What did the fuck did he do? He didn't have to build any trust like you did. He didn't have to build any comfort in her like you did. That familiarity, that reliability that she can trust you. He didn't have to do that. You did all that. And because you didn't set boundaries in place, you let them trick you into now you saying, oh, you're thinking of bringing them together so it could be a couple. No. She was bringing her friend so it could be a couple date. First of all, why the fuck is she interested in his love life? That's another thing. She should have zero interest in his love life, in his life. Why the fuck is she playing matchmaker? Why? He's your friend and you're not even fucking worrying about that. Why is she worrying about that so much? If your woman is worrying so much about another guy, whether he's your friend or not, it doesn't fucking matter. If she is taking so much interest in another motherfucking guy, that's a fucking big red flag. That's a problem right there. It's none of her business. I don't give a shit if she's Mother Teresa. I don't give a shit if she's Saint Mary. It doesn't fucking matter. Why does she care about his love life and you don't? You're not even doing that. You're not even asking her, hey, bring your friend. No. Why are they getting so familiar? Don't ever bring those two motherfuckers together. No. No. Don't let anybody gaslight you into thinking you're exaggerating or look, just think about it like this, right? If ever anybody tries to say you're insecure, you're weak, you're not a modern man because you're separating your friend or friends from your girl. If anybody ever tries to say that, I want you to remember the pain that you're feeling right now as you're telling me all that she did and all that he did and all that they did together. Remember this fucking pain and don't you forget it. Don't you forget it. Do not forget it. Because that is, if you forget it, that will be the reason why you will make the same mistake again. Do not forget it. Don't let anybody gaslight you. Don't let anybody gaslight you. Don't make them together. Why? Yes, he's the. Listen, how about this? Instead of making him the third wheel, how about this? He's not even a wheel in the cart in the fucking first place. He doesn't exist. She should have no business with him. He's not even on the fucking wheel. Forget the third wheel. He's not on the wheel. He's not there. That's what happens when you open the window. Even the flies want to join the live. He shouldn't be even on the wheel. Like he's non-existent. He's your friend. He should only communicate and contact with you. It pleasing it just goes into the whole people pleasing shit as well. Stop trying to yeah, fucking flies. Stop trying to please him so that he's because you want to please him, make sure that okay, he feels involved. Exactly. The flies on exactly. They want to grow their wings and turn into eagles, they hate being flies. So stop trying to please him. Stop trying to please him because he's saying, if you're really my friend, you make us all get along, blah, blah, blah. And stop trying to please her into, oh, my friend, she wants someone to speak to. Maybe we can all have a date. Fuck that. You tell her no, you tell him no. That's it. You tell her no, you tell him no. Period. That's literally it. Why should they be together? And if anybody says you're insecure, I want you to remember what you've been through. Let's see if you still feel insecure or you feel like, you know what, yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. Because I promise you, you were a kind person to both of them. I mean, you were trying to make them together. Listen, you are so deep into the whole people pleasing and make sure everybody's happy and kumbaya. You let those people go off into the sunset together. And they're probably not together right now. They're probably not together right now. Think about that. It's not completely one sided. It's not one sided. It's not just your fault, it's her fault too. Because it should be normal if you're hanging out together. I mean, she even brought someone for him to speak to while you two are speaking with each other, like a double date. See, it shouldn't be a problem that they know each other, your girlfriend and your friend, especially when you're there. I'm not talking about when you're not there, that's fucked up. I'm talking about when you're there. It's not even a problem if they're speaking together, especially when she even brought someone for him. That shouldn't even be a problem, but you have to understand should is not the point here. Forget about, oh, it should be fine. It shouldn't be a problem. Don't make them together. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? It's not about being insecure. It's not about being insecure. Why are you doing that? Don't ever do that again. Because you're basically saying, go ahead, do whatever. You don't create an environment where you are basically giving her over because you want to be such a kind person. You want to make her happy to be playing matchmaker. Why the fuck is she not busy trying to make you and her stronger and better? Why does she give a fuck about some other guy? Think about that. Why, if her effort is ever for anyone else other than you, that's a motherfucking problem. Even if 1% of her effort is for another guy, whether he's your friend or not, it doesn't matter. If it's not for you, it's a problem. You're giving her all your money. You're buying her all this shit. You're giving her all this attention. She is so needy for your attention that she's even complaining about the once or twice that you're with your friend. Come on. This is the thing, right? You can still have friends, but you need to have boundaries too. That's right. You need to have boundaries. And I promise you that I can tell that you were probably discussing her with him. No? You were discussing her with him because he was your friend. And you were probably discussing him with her. If you talk about him with her in the general way, that's different. But if you're talking about I'm not saying talk about him in a bad way, but if you're talking about what a great friend he is, what a supportive, kind friend he is, you know, if you're talking about that all the time, but then what you're doing is you're actually programming her. Okay, if you're talking about what an awesome friend your friend is or whatever, and you do that all the time because you're such a kind person, all you're doing is you are programming her to see someone else in a better light than you. Don't ever do that. And if you're talking about her with to him so much, all you're doing is you are saying to him, I have this big, beautiful, juicy fruit, and I'm going to tell you all about it. You don't have to speak bad about her, but don't tell him anything about her. And do not beautify her to him because now he's thinking, I want that. But he's such a sneaky, snaky, fake friend. He's not willing to do the work. He wants to take what you have. He was jealous of you because people only try to take what you have when they're jealous of you. Period. Mm. God, that tastes good. Yeah. She should have been doing a favor to you, which is appreciating you and respecting you while you were spending all your money on her and you were going through shit work environment to facilitate her lifestyle. She should only ever be doing a favor to you, you know? Like you should put boundaries in place. Like there will be certain things that you don't discuss about her with him. That's the problem. Don't ever do that. You're tempting. It's like you're tempting the devil when you don't ever talk about your sexual life with another guy, whether he's your friend or not, or a relative. It doesn't fucking matter whether he's your brother, your cousin, your father, your friend, best friend, strangers. It doesn't matter. Any male, period. Yeah, it's a good drink. Any male, period. Do not talk about your sexual life with them. Don't ever do that. See, what you're doing is this. You are basically holding up a sign that says, my woman does this, does that. Come in. That's what you're saying. That's what you're putting out there. That's what you're saying to these people. You're encouraging them. And guess what? She's no longer a mystery. They know her now. In their minds, they know her. And if they know intimate things about her in their mind, they feel courageous. They feel encouraged to speak to her. Now they don't speak to her as, oh, I'm going to be respectful to her because she's my friend's girlfriend or my friend's wife. They don't feel that boundary anymore. Now they feel like, oh, I know you. I know what you do to him in your private time. I know what he does to you. I know what you guys do to each other. I know there's no boundary anymore. There's no respect. There's no respect from a distance anymore. They don't have that respect for her anymore. They can't. You've exposed her. I think people need to know that Just because you are best friends, or because you're friends, or because you're family, or because you're close, that doesn't mean you expose what is most precious to you. Yeah, I don't give a shit if that means you're not a trusting person. You see, you want to people please so much that you don't want to be like, oh, I'm not saying so many things. I'm not exposing so many things. It's not everything that you say. It's not everything that you do. But that's the thing. You are stronger for it. And guess what? Guess what? Aren't you glad that you knew this? Because imagine you did everything right. Because this is the thing. We talk about doing the right things so that we can have the girl and keep the girl. But you have to understand you are human and you will make mistakes. You want to be a human being who, even when you make mistakes and you fuck up, the people in your life, instead of them punishing you for it, they can talk with you about it. That girl should have sat you down and spoke with you about it. That, hey, I don't want to be hanging out with your friend. You don't want a girl who wants to hang out with your male friends. You don't want that. She should have spoken with you and say, I know that want us to be getting along, but I don't want to get along with your friend. Like, we can be kind to each other, but I don't want to get along so deeply like that, to the point where I want to now play matchmaker for him. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't, just because you trust somebody doesn't mean you have to be like that. You don't. No, no, don't let anybody convince you. Oh, you're insecure. Oh, you don't trust me. You should let me go on holiday with a bunch of fucking guys. You should let me go on holiday with all these girls who are single friends of mine, even if they have husbands or boyfriend. Doesn't matter. Like, why are you trusting your woman? It's not even about trusting your woman. Why are you letting her just go off? Why you just go do whatever you want? You gotta be very careful. You can trust her, but don't be stupid. You know what I'm trying to say? You can trust without being stupid. Like, don't facilitate, don't create an environment where it's easy or things like that could happen. Do you understand what I mean? That's the thing, you see. She made him priority. You have to understand. Like, look, you have to understand this, right? Wherever anyone, guy or girl, anyone, right? Wherever they put their attention, that's what they're thinking of. You feel me? Wherever they put their attention, that's what they're thinking of, and that's what's in their heart. There's a verse in the Bible that says, wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart is. Okay, so whatever you value, whatever you think about, whatever you care about, that's where your heart will be. That's where your mind, your focus would be, because the heart and the mind are usually as one, especially in religious texts. They usually mean the same thing. If she's playing matchmaker for him, she's thinking about him. Think about it like this. How can she play matchmaker for him without thinking, what kind of girl does he like? What kind of body should the girl like? What kind of personality should she have that he would like? You know? How does she talk? How does she smile? How does she carry herself? See, she's thinking about this for him. Essentially, he's in and on her mind. You're not. Understand this. You are with a girl does not necessarily mean she is with you. I'll say that again. You are with a girl. Yeah, you being with a girl doesn't mean she is with you. You were in a relationship together. You were spending time on her. You were buying things for her. You were caring for her. You were loving her. But her mind was not with you, it was with him. She was spending time, even if it's a minute, she's spending time thinking about him and what he likes. Now she's no longer thinking about you or what you like. She's focused on him now. Do you understand? She's focused on him. That's dangerous. Why is she focused on him? And don't let her think you're exaggerating. You're not exaggerating. The fact that she's saying you're exaggerating and she's gaslighting you, that means she's not someone who takes responsibility. She should have said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to say this. I didn't mean to focus on what he would like in a girl for me to play matchmaker with him and my friend." That means she doesn't take responsibility. You have to be very careful. She can be with you physically, but if she's not with you in the mind or in the heart, that's a problem. That's why couples can live together. They can be in the same room, in the same house, in the same family. It doesn't mean their minds are together. It doesn't mean they're thinking about each other. They're just there physically. You need to be with her and you need to keep her thinking about you. Again, it goes back to the beginning. You want a woman who is focused on you. And any motherfucker out there who says, women shouldn't just focus on their husband, well, guess what? Or their boyfriend. Well, guess what? She was thinking about him. So there's nothing wrong with you from the very beginning wanting a woman who's all about you. You want a girl or a woman who's all about you. A girlfriend or a wife who is all about you. Yes, you do. If anybody says you're misogynistic, that means she can't be free. Guess what? Guess what? She was thinking about somebody else. If she's not thinking about you, who should she be thinking about? Who should she be thinking about? It should be about you from the very fucking beginning and throughout. Throughout, it should be you from the beginning onwards, non-stop. It should be you. But instead, she was there physically with you. You were providing all these things, but her mind or her heart was not focused on you. She didn't see you as her treasure. It was the other guy. And you need to not create those kind of situations. I'm sure there are girlfriends and friends of their boyfriends that they can be in the same room and nothing will happen. But why create that? Yeah, you didn't mean to do it. That was an accident. Now you know. But don't be creating those situations. Nothing could have happened, but guess what? It did. Why create those situations? There's no need to be secure or trusting or confident. Why? For what? That's like I'm gonna put my head in the tiger's mouth and because I trust or I hope it won't. Yeah, sure, it could not bite you, but what are the chances it won't? Like, why would you do that? I'm gonna put my hand in the volcano, and you know, maybe not deep in the lava, but I'm gonna put it at the very edge of it, and yeah, sure, you could not get burnt, right? But what are the chances that you won't get burnt? It's very low. Like they could have not done anything. In fact, you he could be your best man, and you guys could be about to be married. That could happen too. But why create those situations where things could happen, like things like that could happen? And also, why would you, even if you know those things won't happen, like you trust your girl, you trust your friend, why is she thinking of him and not you? Why is she worried about his love life and not worried about your relationship with her? Why? And why does it bother him so much that They are not getting along. What's his business? He's not her boyfriend, he's your friend. Who cares, right? And why are they arguing so much? Why does she care about what he thinks so much that she's triggered by his opinion? Why does that trigger her? Why does she care so much about what he's saying? And why does he care so much to argue with his friend, or his best friend's girlfriend? Why does he care so much to argue with her? Why? Why do they care about what the other thinks so much they're willing to argue about it? And in those situations, you need to be, what's the word? In those situations, don't ever position, in fact, it's not even about don't ever position yourself. In those situations, understand that you are not the third wheel. That's another thing. You need to understand you are not the third wheel. At the very, he shouldn't even be on the cart to be a wheel. He shouldn't even be a wheel in the first place. But if anyone's to be a wheel, it should be him. And if he ever complains about being the third wheel, you shouldn't care. Next time, just hang out with him without her. That's fine. And make sure you continue to give her a lot of attention. If it gets to the point where you can't even live your life, like doing the things you need to do, like going to work, going to the gym, exercising, things. If it comes to the point where you can't do those things without her crying about it, that's a problem because you're improving yourself, not just for yourself, but for her too. You're doing those things to improve yourself financially, physically. You're, reading, you're listening to things, you're improving yourself emotionally, you're improving yourself, and you're improving yourself for her as well. If she can't appreciate that, there's a problem there. There is a problem there. But if it's about you spending so much time with your friend and not on her, then you should understand that. But if she's gonna complain, even when it's something that improves your life and makes you a better man for her, that's a fucking problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if they're arguing so much, if they are really arguing so much, be very suspicious. See, we often assume that people who are, or men and women who are arguing or fighting, they really hate each other. No, because you have to understand something. To argue with somebody, to fight with somebody, it's a lot of emotions that go into that. That means you give a shit what they think and what they say. And the person you're arguing with so much is who you're thinking of. Think about that. The person you're arguing with so much is who you're thinking of. Because think about it like this: she's arguing with him so much, and she's also playing matchmaker for him. That should have been the first sign that actually it's not that they don't get along. They do get along. Understand that. Understand that. She's arguing with him, so you're thinking they're fighting. They're not. Even without the matchmaking stuff, they're not fighting. Because now he's thinking of her, she's thinking of him because they've been arguing. No contact is the best contact. And guess what? She should be focused on you in the interaction, not on him to the point where she's arguing with him. And why is he arguing with his friend's girlfriend? So why at all? Why isn't he focused on you and talking with you? He knows you. He should be talking with you. Why is he trying to argue with her? What business does he have with her? And what business does she have with him? That's, see, when people say I am just joking, understand this, right? How many times have someone said something, you say nothing, and that's that. But then another time they say something, and you tell them you don't like what they're saying, and then they say I'm joking. People usually say, usually say, I'm joking. After you've said you don't like what they're saying or doing, understand that. That's why they say I'm joking. Because they realize they've been caught in something and they want to make it look like you're someone who can't take a joke or who you're too serious. You need to get more serious in life and don't let people be telling you how to live your life. First, and he should not listen. Oh my god. Like, fuck. The second he pulled her hair, he was no longer your brother. The second he pulled her hair, he was not joking. The second he pulled her hair, you should never have been chilled. You understand? Don't be fucking chilled. That's not a chilled moment. That's a fucking problem moment. And her reaction to that, I can tell she was chilled with it. She was cool with it. She was really laughing or whatever. He said they were. That's bullshit. See, he's a manipulative piece of shit because he convinced you that he's your brother, right? So he said, "I'm your brother, and because I'm your brother, I'm gonna do shady shit." So on the outside, it's brother, but on the inside, it's pulling her hair. That's something you do to her as a joke. He should never be doing that. You understand? He's covering his sneaky acts with brother. That's not your brother. And I bet you she was cool with it. See, you want a woman who, when someone touches her and it's not you, when someone does anything to her and it's not you, she's willing to fight them just as you are. She's willing. She's angry just as you are for touching her. Why the fuck is he touching her? Understand that. That's fucked up. Boundaries. That's the fucking problem. Boundaries. Fucking boundaries. That's a manipulative. He was never a friend. He was a manipulative person. Talking about nobody, a bitch should never. Okay, he's calling her a bitch, calling her this, calling her that. Why is he joking with her? You need to get your priorities straight. You need to know what you will stand for and what you will not stand for. You need to improve your life so that the way you carry yourself, like the way you feel inside of yourself and the way you carry yourself, they align and they are someone who will not take shit and you will not allow that kind of situation in your presence. And your woman needs to carry herself. That's why you got it from the very fucking beginning. Your woman should be the kind of woman who she wouldn't even give any sign for anybody to think she can pull her hair or even joke with her. Do you understand that? She needs to be that kind of woman in the first place. And you need to be the kind of man who wants that kind of woman. And you get that kind of woman. And if such a situation ever happens, because people are stupid, even when you don't encourage situations, they can happen. You need to be the kind of man, okay? You need to be the man that will not allow that. And if that kind of thing happens, there are fucking consequences. It does, listen, consequences that does not ever end. It doesn't just end at you not being friends. That's a problem where for the next fucking 5 years, you will create a problem about it that both your lives, you and that guy, it will never be the same. That's all I'm gonna say. Your lives will not be the same, and his will not be the same in the worst way. Period. That's unacceptable. Nah, see, You were the third wheel. From all of this, you were the third wheel. And I'm not gonna tell you, okay? I'm not gonna fucking sit here and tell you that, oh, you should have been doing all these things so that he shouldn't be. No, even if you're not doing all these things and you're just quiet, sitting down with your woman, that shouldn't be happening anyway. I'm not gonna tell you and say you need to be doing all of these things so that there's no space for him to. No, you don't have to do those things. You don't have to pull her hair or joke with her in public. You don't need to do that. People should already know from the way you carry yourself that's your woman. Your friend never respected you. You were hunting and bringing dinner for him. You were the third wheel. The way you are, like who you are inside and in here, and the way you carry yourself, it should be obvious. You are not someone that anyone should touch his girl to the point of even pulling her hair or even joking with her. And she wouldn't be someone who carries herself like they should joke with her in the first place. And if they tried, she wouldn't even respond. And if they tried, you speak to them and tell them you are speaking with them, not your woman. You are speaking with them, not your woman. They should understand not to be speaking with your woman because you're speaking with them. Why are they talking with her? Why are they joking with her? You need to you need to be in control, and she should already give you that control by not even engaging with them in the first place. Do you understand? She should give you that control because guess what? She gave him that control, and that's why he was doing the things he was doing. And the most dangerous thing, okay, in those situations is when your woman doesn't have your back. She never had your back, and I think you sensed that. You fucking sensed. If you made a big deal out of it, she would never have your back. That's why she behaved the way she behaved. She never had your back. It's easier for you to defend her. Okay, it's easier for you to defend her when she wants to be defended in the first place. It's easier for you to protect her when she wants to be protected in the first place. It's easier for you to put your foot down and say, don't ever touch my woman again, when she also doesn't want to be touched. Think about that. Because if you make a big deal out of it, okay, you make a big deal out of it, there's now an issue, the police are involved. If she doesn't have your back, now you're the idiot who made a big deal out of nothing, who exaggerated. Do you understand? Because they're gonna look to her as to what happened because she's the woman. And if she doesn't have your back, you're in trouble. And guess who she goes off with? Your fucking friend. Have a woman that supports you, that has your back, that doesn't just take from you. Have a woman that supports you. That way, when you stand up for her, when things get real to the point where you could be in jail, she's gonna have your fucking back. Because who are they gonna speak to? The woman about what happened. Because she's the one that you're defending. And she's the female. Think about it. You want a woman who has your back and only your back. Not a woman that's going to be giggling and laughing with another guy who's pulling her hair, whatever bullshit. You want her to have your back. If you're going to risk your life in a fight for her, you want her to have your back. You want her to have your fucking back. Period. That's what I'm saying. You wanted to people please so much, you are basically like Santa Claus making his wish come true to take your girl. And you were being Santa Claus to be weak, to say to her, here's all the thing I have, all the things I have. You give me nothing. Take everything, give me nothing. At least with Santa Claus says be nice, right? Don't be naughty, be nice. She wasn't even being nice to you, but you still gave her every fucking thing you had. You were, yeah, it's people pleasing. It is. It's fucking people pleasing. You're right. I'm glad you found that for yourself as well. That's good. That's the thing about people pleasing. You people please to the point where you have no power, even in your own goddamn relationship, in your own fucking friendship. You had no power in any way. That's bad. You are crushing yourself and breaking yourself to fit in here, to fit in there. That's wrong. Think about that. And I'm glad you came to that conclusion where you had no power. That's the thing with people pleasing. You are giving your power away. Do you understand that? You can listen what people who are like this, what they when they're requesting you to do certain things that you don't want to do, what they're saying is do it for me, even though it's inconvenient for you. Because see, this didn't just inconvenient you, okay? It didn't just inconvenient you. It literally broke your trust in people. You wasted your resources and you're without a girl. And they're probably not even together right now. You see what I mean? If they were together, then maybe you could even justify, okay, well, it was true love, even though it doesn't make it okay that he did that to you and she did that to you. But maybe in your mind, you'd be like, you know what? Have her, have your true love moment, have her, live together, have kids, have a family, have a house, whatever. At least you can even say, all right, bye. Okay, good for you. Do you? But they're probably even not even together right now. That's messed up. That's fucked up. That's wrong as fuck. When you people please, you are giving your power away. You are giving your power away. Because now you're not living the life you want. You're living the life that they want. Now they've got two lives. They get to do what they want, and they get to make you do what they want as well. Now they've got two lives they're living. They're living their own life, and they're making you live the way they want to live through you. That's fucking wrong. If you ever feel like you're giving your power away, you're people pleasing. You're people pleasing. It's not even like at work where you're having to do what your boss asks you to do, extra work that you don't even want to do, but you're like, okay, I'm going to do it to make money. It's not even in that situation, which you can justify, okay, it's temporary and at least you're getting money out of it. This is a situation where you gave your power away and you were left with nothing, and everybody else had something. You with nothing. Think about that. It's saying here the chat is disconnected again, and I'm gonna guess maybe you're having questions, more questions. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and come back again. I'm gonna end the stream and come back again. But at least it was okay for a long time. That's the good thing. I'll see you guys soon.